Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the Cline publishing postcards. These are some of my favorite postcards to find. I just found a couple of them at the Omaha Postcard Show, and I feel like maybe not everybody knows a lot about them, and it have such a fascinating background. So this video is going to be dedicated to kind of walking through how to identify them, the origins of their business, bolos. I would argue that pretty much any one of their postcards could be considered a bolo. So these are some examples of the postcards that they published. They have a very unique typeface at the bottom. You can see like they all have the same kind of like handwritten almost typeface. They all have this similar um, look to them, if that makes sense, but they are typically southern states, so like Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, those areas. It tends to be that's where they were from. Um, More identification. So typically, at the bottom right-hand corner, there will be this identification number, and this number actually represents like a geographical location. There is a super cool website that I found that I will show later on in the video and link down below in the description box. But this identification number links back to a specific town, and then sometimes, but not always, they will say Cline photo, and there'll be like a signature at the bottom here. Again, I don't always see that on the bottom of them, but on this particular example, they do have that. And again, this same type font is going to be on all of the postcards. It's very recognizable. Like once you see it, you can't unsee it type of thing. And definitely be on the lookout for these particular cards. So basically, from what I could find online about the company, it was started with a father and son in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The son, whose name was William Cline, I believe, really took over the business and just expanded it like tremendously. By 1940, they had already sold $3 million worth of postcards, which is kind of insane to think about. And then by 1953, they were printing up to 48,000 postcards every day, which again is crazy to think about. They covered scenes in 24 states. So I believe they traveled around taking photographs, and their business was taking these photographs and making them into real photo postcards and publishing them. They had like a printing facility in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And then in the 1950s, they had printing presses all across the South. But like I said, mostly the ones that I have found um, have been in southern states. I'd love to see and find some of these other states that they're in, but typically in the South. Um, so how I found out about getting more information about this was there's a really cool website. Again, I'll link it down below. But basically, what had happened was the father had died, I think, sometime in the 80s or the 70s, maybe. And his glass negatives for his photographs just really deteriorated over time. And then I think about 2 years ago, a historian went in and tried to preserve what was left of these really damaged glass negatives. So these are some examples of the glass negatives, and as you can see, they are quite damaged. I think you can, like, it almost looks like there's like a thunderstorm going on here because it looks like lightning and stuff, but that is just from the chemical breakdown in the photos. And so these particular scenes where the glass negatives have been completely destroyed over time, I would argue that postcards of these towns in these scenes where the negatives are destroyed are possibly even more valuable than other Cline postcards, just because the negatives are destroyed. Really, the copy prints are um, the only like full good image left of it. So definitely, if you find really cool scenes from the South from Cline, double check to make sure that that if the glass negative has been chemically altered or destroyed, it could make the postcard a little bit more valuable. Oops. So this is the site that I was talking about, and I'm going to go to the site. It is an incredible resource, and I just love this type of thing. I think this is so neat. Um, Basically, this historian has gone in and marked all of the Tennessee. This is just for the state of Tennessee, I believe, but all of their photographs and postcards within the state of Tennessee on a map. And as you can see, these are also chemically altered here. Some are worse than others, but these are just incredible scenes from small towns. And even some of them are fairly big now, but these scenes are just so neat. And they're all on this map here, which is just really incredible. It's such a great resource. And like I was saying earlier, all of those little numbers on the right hand corner correlate to a specific town and geographical location within the state. So, for example, P93 is Benton, Tennessee. Z645 is Birdston, Tennessee. And you can actually click on that town and see the images, which is just so neat. Again, I'm obsessed with this website. I think it is so neat. Definitely go check it out. And if you want to learn more about the background of the Cline family and what they did and their business, this is such a great resource and has a lot of information about that. But now I'm going to just give a couple examples of some bolos of Cline. Again, I said in the beginning, I arguably would say that all of them are bolos because I think that a lot of these, I don't think a lot of postcard dealers necessarily realize the value. The ones I bought in Omaha were like $2 to $3. Um, Again, not everything is going to sell for super crazy expensive like this, but generally I would say these cards are at least bare minimum $30. I would not list any Cline photo or RPPC for less than that. This is a bird's eye view of Cleveland, Tennessee, so not a super small town. And it sold on auction for $177.50. Um, this one is from Gainesville, Florida. It is the University of Florida post office, sold on auction for $129.16. There are several Gainesville, Florida RPPCs from them of like different places on campus, different high schools in Gainesville, stuff like that. And they have sold for pretty good money. So even though Gainesville is a pretty big town, definitely be on the lookout for that. This is actually on our Bolo map that is on the Blue Lake Mercantile website, which I'll also link down below if you want to look at the Bolo map. This one is of the new Gatlinburg Inn in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Again, not a super small town. Sold for $104.09 on auction. Um, This is just a gymnasium in Carabel, Florida, sold on auction for $50.13. But again, these postcards are definitely to be on the lookout for. I have started to actually include the word like Cline RPPC in my titles when I list these, because I don't really know if there's people out there that just buy these for the Cline aspect, but I just think it's something nice to add to the listing. So I hope this video was super helpful, and make sure to keep an eye out for any of these Cline RPPC postcards, especially when you can get them for a couple of dollars. I would definitely pick them up. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Bye.